Hello everyone. How are you? I hope you're doing well. As most of you know, I'm an infantry player, and any news about my type of troop in the game gets me really excited. Today we're going to talk a little bit about some long-awaited news, as it was introduced into the game's metadata some time ago and in the last major game update became available for purchase. We're talking about none other than Barret's brilliant weapon. Yes, this big bearded guy will finally be able to carry his exclusive weapon. Isn't that wonderful? So, first of all, let's take a quick look at what the game says about this commander's story. I love this guy. Barret, as we know, is an infantry commander, focused on bleed synergy with combat buffs for army life and infantry defense. Unfortunately, he doesn't have attack buffs, but that's not a problem so far, since his awakening skill is focused on bleed damage. So why was the weapon so eagerly awaited Polygene Zero? To answer simply and objectively, the weapon was so eagerly awaited for three main reasons to one, as I mentioned earlier. It was already in the metadata, so we could already see how good it would be. The only thing left to know was how to obtain it, which I'll talk about later. Dot 2, it increases infantry attack stats. Dot 3, it substantially alters Barret's awakening skill. That said, let's get down to business. Wild Ambition, Barret's long-awaited weapon. As you can see, this is a weapon with specific infantry buffs, which means that it can only be refined with general or infantry attributes. It is not possible to use this weapon with buffs from other types of troops. Only infantry at TK, DEF, HP, or total stats with an initial status of 25%. Infantry attack and 6.25% total health. This weapon is equal, in terms of buffs, to Chris's already known weapon, reaching in its final stage 50% infantry attack and 12.5% total health in its base attributes. The random attributes, which are those that we can refine and exchange, are base infantry attack, maximum of 10, reduction of cavalry damage against allied infantry, maximum of 8% dot archer damage reduction against allied infantry, maximum of 8% dot infantry attack, maximum of 20% total attack, maximum of 5% infantry defense, maximum of 30% infantry health, maximum of 30% total defense, maximum of 7.5% total health, maximum of 7.5% enemy health reduction by 30%. The only attribute where you can choose any type of troop according to your preference and strategy, meaning you can choose to reduce the health of spearmen, cavalry, infantry, or archers. Now let's talk about the change to Barret's awakening skill, which in my opinion is the most advantageous part of this weapon, since it is not an impossible mission to raise it to the maximum. Let's take a look at the pure form of Barret's awakening skill below. Whenever an allied squad on the front line performs a normal attack 8 times, Barret has a 50% chance to apply bleeding, which is nothing more than 20% extra damage on your troop's attack for 5 seconds. However, after casting bleeding on enemies, Barret will be silenced and will no longer be able to use active army skills. This skill causes damage equivalent to 260% of the troop's attack on the enemy. Crimson Blade, so Polygene Zero, what does Barret's weapon change? Let's take a look. The weapon changes Barret's awakening so that after inflicting bleeding, he launches a heavy attack, or extra strike, as we might also call it, on his immediately following squad. That is, his front square. Equivalent to 200% of the army's attack every 8 seconds. Sounds good, doesn't it? This subtle but precise change makes all the difference in Barret's usability. It puts him on a higher level as a commander who will inflict high damage on the enemy squad throughout virtually the entire battle. And it doesn't stop there. Barret's new ability improves with each level his weapon rises, as we can see below, reaching incredible numbers. This small but incisive modification too. Barret's awakening gives him an ability very similar to Sander Clegane, Another infantry commander who also applies bleeding, deals extremely high damage on turns, and is silenced after casting his awakening ability. The difference is, obviously, in the amount of damage. Sander inflicts greater damage, and in the silence. Since Sander silences him, and a random allied commander Palagine Zero, where can he get this marvel? Well, Barret's weapon can be obtained in fragments, 50 at a time, in the Elite Trials store, where we exchange medals from Tyrion, the dwarf. You can get up to 50 every 15 days, which totals 100 per month, 1 weapon per month, 10 months to complete the weapon at 4stars.excellent, isn't it? So everyone, are you eager to begin the journey of maximizing this beauty? Comment below what do you think of the weapon, how you plan to use it, and what you thought of the video. See you next week. Bye for now.